It's going to take days for the official results to come in, but it's looking clear in favor of Zelensky and Poroshenko.
They're exemplifying the trend that we've observed throughout the world, throughout the Western world, of disenchantment with political elites, with the establishment. Zelensky is the anti-establishment candidate. He has prevailed in first round, and it will be his second round to lose.
You saw Peter Zalmayev in that report from Francis. Let's go live to Kiev and speak to the director of the Eurasia Democracy Initiative. Peter, thank you for your time. Shall we take it as read that it's going to finish the way it's being reported to be going now? In other words, in a few weeks, the runoff is going to be between Zelensky and Poroshenko. How do you think that's going to go, especially in terms of who are Yulia Tymoshenko supporters going to back?
Well, this is $1 million question, and it is clear that Yulia Tymoshenko, first of all, is not going to go down without fighting. You can never write off Yulia Tymoshenko. In the days to come, it may be that her supporters will mount some kind of a challenge to the results. She is not happy with the results, so that is not a done deal. But I believe that large-scale falsifications did not take place. It is likely that it will be Zelensky versus Mr. Poroshenko. And while the Ukrainian incumbent can breathe a sigh of relief that he didn't enter the second round, he still has a lease on life and another fighting chance. The differential between them is quite significant. It's almost 14%. It is going to be Zelensky's fight, Zelensky's election to lose.
Okay, so the one thing we're definitely certain about, right, is that Zelensky, if it's his to lose, he's going into the runoff. I want to quote Alexei Shalaysky here, an investigative journalist there in Kiev, who has talked about the corruption that's endemic in government. He says within every ministry of the Ukrainian government, there are three categories of people. They're the untouchables. They devise the schemes that make themselves rich. They're the touchables who are open to bribes but can be prosecuted. Then there are those who have to play by the rules. If Zelensky is to become president, how can he dismantle the structures of governance that are in place that allow this sort of corruption to take place and yet still have an effective administration? He's a newcomer. Can he do all of that?
He's a newcomer, and I'm very, very skeptical that he can. In fact, there is a gentleman behind him, precisely the target of his attacks, the oligarch, Mr. Igor Kolomoisky, who's now in hiding in Israel, a man worth over $1 billion, who owns the TV station on which Mr. Zelensky has been playing the comedian, the president of Ukraine. And so Mr. Zelensky has shown himself to be really wobbly on issues of politics and basic economics, and there's fear in Ukraine that he will not be an independent figure, and in short time, he will once again show himself dependent on large oligarchic interests who will be manipulating him. Once again, it's not a done deal, it's not certain, but it is very, very doubtful that he will become an independent political figure.
Peter, just finally, is Zelensky's program, do you know, is it going to be on TV between now and the runoff? Because if it is, that is priceless advertising, isn't it?
He's received millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars worth of free advertisement through his TV show. It's worked for him, and I do not see any reason why he would disconnect it and discontinue it in the next 3 weeks.
Peter, thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate it. Peter Zalmayev speaking to us from Kiev.